And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Market Recap, fellow future traders, friends, and family. Tuesday, August the 30th, 2022. I'm John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Hopefully you had a good trading today. It looks like maybe we did have some good trading today, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. U.S. stock futures continue to push lower on inflation and rate fears. Even some positive economic numbers this morning wasn't enough to stop the downside route. E-mini S&Ps closed about down approximately 42 points today, about 1%. The Nasdaq down 127, approximately 1%, and the Dow futures down 290 points, approximately at down 0.9%. Just kind of discussing what some of the talking feds had to say today. Williams, who spoke after Barkin, said he fails to see rate cuts until 2024. Policy will have to stay at levels that slow growth for, in quotes, some time. Yeah, but says he's starting to see some good signs again, in quotes, but inflation remains far too high. And earlier in the day, Barkin said she is expecting inflation to bounce around before settling, kind of like the aftershocks of an earthquake. So that was Fed speak for today. Crude oil prices dropped today about 5%, a little over 5%, as economic fears threaten demand. At least that's what we're being told, or at least what I've been reading. E-mini S&P's downside move continues. Is it getting too low is my question. Weekly kickoff is $10, 10 points below the current low of this session so far. Nasdaq found support near weekly kickoff low, kind of a little bit of a dead cat bounce we've seen after reaching that level in the Nasdaq. Gold, a really big test of the weekly kickoff low. It opened up double distribution trend day, hung around weekly kickoff low for the better part of the session, and then came off it a little bit, closing above weekly kickoff low. The euro, all I can say is range bound. That's all we've had to say about the euro for a little while now. The yield in the 10-year, that opening range that we were talking about this morning, held as the high of the session. Two gap closes today. The gap close from last night and the day before closed both of those gaps. Value, although wider, remains largely the same. The natural gas, we were showing that double bottom a couple of weeks ago as the extreme of the area of balance, and that is exactly where price went today before turning around and then returning higher. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button. If there's something I'm missing here on the recap, let me know at jhoagland@topstep.com. Always want to make sure that we're keeping in touch and getting feedback and suggestions from all of you. So hit that lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notifications when we do go live. As always, Glitter Sandwich, first in the room, wins the prize, and he won more than that today. Congratulations, Glitter Sandwich, on achieving the funded account. I'm very happy for you. I love to hear these success stories. Looking forward to having you on the funded team, and I'm looking forward to your continued success. Tachyon, good to see you. Dimitar, Tachyon up 397 for the combine. Great trading day. Dug into the 1K 1K for profit target for the combine the past few weeks. Still need a break, though. Yeah, you said you're going to be taking a little bit of time off. Enjoy it, Tachyon. We work really hard at this. You deserve to do something really nice for yourself. Make sure you make the best of that time. Do something really, really nice for yourself. Bill Phillips, good afternoon. Haggle Matters, good afternoon. Everybody saying congratulations to Glitter Sandwich. Vince, good afternoon. I don't know if I'm anybody's inspiration, but I'm just so happy to hear of your success. And thanks for joining us on the forecast and the recap and all the other things. And if it's made a difference to you, that makes me very happy. All right. What else? Well, tomorrow we are still in the throes of some pretty serious economic information. ADP employment report is tomorrow. That's at 7:45. It's very early. Chicago PMI at 8:45. And then, of course, the EIA petroleum status report at 9:30. We have Fed Talking Feds tomorrow. Loretta Meester speaks at 7 a.m. And then Bostic speaks tomorrow at 5:30 after the close. I, however, will not be here with you tomorrow. I'm going to be taking a little time off, take care of some business. Our good friend John Doherty will be here for the forecast and the recap. Always look forward to seeing JD and what he's got to say. And then I'll be back on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, we are looking at jobless claims, productivity and costs, PMI manufacturing, ISM manufacturing, construction spending, net gas. And then, of course, we're finishing up the week with the unemployment numbers. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what we did in these markets today. And could we have seen this continuation move in crude oil this morning? We think we saw a pretty decent opportunity in the S&Ps and the Nasdaq. We put up a lot of bear flags in the last couple of sessions. Let's take a look. So here's the daily in crude. Closing above weekly kickoff high yesterday. Overall, open interest on the final number, we added 8,500. We were looking at 9,200, so a little less than the expected number, but still a decent number. Volume was just maintaining. Here's the 30-minute chart. There we go. Is this a bear flag? I'm thinking no. But it was, and we're on the open. We left the opening range at the high of the session. We had some weak structure, which we had to deal with to the downside here. We had two gaps, almost closing the lowest gap, going through the higher gap, and then trading through this naked point of control right here. Was this ordained that this was going to happen? I don't know if anything's ordained. It's still largely range bound, and I'm not really thinking of calling this a bear flag. Pretty decent move to the downside, though. We still have some kind of unfinished business at lower levels than that. So just this trend line here, as we continued to move off the opening range, may have been a good signal that there was more to this move to the downside than originally thought. Here's the E-mini S&Ps. Okay, we had higher open interest. Gonna go give a look here and see what the final looks like. An additional 4,700 in open interest when we were talking an additional 7,300 in open interest on yesterday's session on lower volume. Better volume today, ladies and gentlemen. What does it look like in New York? All right. In New York, it wasn't all that tremendous. Definitely going to be higher than yesterday, but still not very gratuitous volume. So, looking at it this morning, we were kind of holding in this channel, which definitely I would call a bear flag. We came down to it. We had some participation in the opposite direction of the bigger picture, narrow range, tested to the high before the open, broke out below in Make Hogue Money. Make Hogue Money, we had a really good trade. We had a couple of losses early in the session, which seems to be a trend. But once we broke out below here, we worked our way into trying to find a short. The market was doing a good job of leaving us behind, but we actually ended up getting a short here at 40.14 with about 6 points of risk. And we were looking for the market to take us all the way down to 39.70, which eventually we did get to that target. I took us out of that trade a little bit early, but we still ended up with a very nice day from Make Hogue Money from that move to the downside. So thank you all for joining and attending and voting and doing everything you do for Make Hogue Money. What do we have here? We got a little bit of a dead cat bounce, don't we? Even though the information, the positive economic numbers this morning, we ended up continuing this move to the downside. It'll be interesting to see how things play out tomorrow, and unfortunately, I won't be sitting in this seat. I'll have to find out as the day goes on. Nasdaq, similar situation. Weekly kickoff low involved. In the S&Ps, we didn't quite get there. Here's back to the S&Ps. Here's our weekly kickoff low. Stop short of that. That might be important information moving forward. The Nasdaq, we did trade down to it. Here's the 30-minute chart for the Nasdaq. Hey, you didn't put the profile on here yet. That's all right. We'll pop it on here real quick. Same situation. Bear flag. Breaking out below the bear flag, finding acceptance, continuation. Where? Right down to weekly kickoff low. Where did we get to here? It's 275 down to 247. The first move down to it wasn't very deep. Took a little bit of a deeper dive, but we did end up closing back above it, reaching a previous naked point of control in the process. So far, nothing but excess or rejection below weekly kickoff low. Gold. Just magnetic towards weekly kickoff low. We opened above it, but we drove to it and stuck there the better part of the day. Here's the 30. Okay, we opened. Opening, looks like opening range was probably the high of the session or close to it. Range, double distribution. This distribution really just stuck to weekly kickoff low here. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the longer time frames to make any decisions in and around these important inflection levels. What do you say about the euro? Range bound? Anybody for some range bound trade? Open in range above value, traded into value, looked higher, looked lower, almost the same range. Value, no real major changes. This market is in short time frame control, and short time frame control levels are going to be respected when we take a look at our low here, just right down to the previous day's low, short time frame level, exacting, mechanical, and weak is this low. Another attempted downside move here in the 10-year, which was rather successful in the daytime frame. We saw that the opening range was the high of the session this morning. The opening range high was 117.14, never revisited again. Another push to the downside. Value largely the same, but wider. Maybe a little bit of an expansion going on here. In the 10-year, and natural gas. See those two lows? The extreme of balance. Got a real nice cheap opportunity to look for a long down there today. Here it is in the 30. Just knowing where they were. Opened, looked lower, and then just continued to try and resolve higher throughout this session. Tomorrow is another day, and unfortunately I won't be involved, and I always have mixed emotions when it comes to that, because I do enjoy what I do so much, but I got to take care of a few things tomorrow. So I will be again back on Thursday. What did we do in history on this day? Let's take a quick look. I didn't check this out beforehand. On August 30th, 1967, Thurgood Marshall is confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. Now, this is more music related, but in 1980, Christopher Cross has his first of two #1 hits with Sailing. Who doesn't love that song? And who doesn't love sailing? What about in music? You got always trying to keep these things positive. John Phillips' birthday is today, 1935. From the Mamas and the Papas. All right. Hang on. Not a whole lot here. All right. (1995), Carly Simon and James Taylor performed live together in front of 10,000 fans. First time they'd been on stage together since 1979. They were, at one time, a married couple. Right. So lots of congratulations for Glitter Sandwich, which is wonderful. Jenner B, that's a new name. Welcome to the market recap. Thanks for coming. And short, but the volatility stopped me out. My stop was too tight for the environment. Very, very important to remember the volatility, because it does expand potential profit targets, but it also expands risk. Ravi caught the short with us today in Make Hogue Money and learned a lot. Good. I'm glad you were able to take advantage of that. Hopefully you got the most of it, huh? Okay. All right, I got messages and all kinds of things going on here. And Jenner, your newest combine trader. Well, thank you for saying hello and popping in here. I'm not going to be here tomorrow morning for the forecast, but our good friend John Doherty's going to be here. Check out John, and I'll be back Thursday morning at 7:45 for the market forecast. And Jenner, we are looking forward to your success. So needless to say, there won't be any group coaching session tomorrow, but we'll be back to Make Hogue Money on Thursday, and hopefully we'll find another good one like we did today. Let's get some good rest. I'm going to be again out tomorrow, but I'll be rested and ready for Thursday, that's for sure. We got a lot left to do this week. Make sure you manage risk well. Make sure you always trade for tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you back here on Thursday. Enjoy our good friend JD. Have a great night. Don't forget to do something nice for yourself. Be kind to others. Say a prayer for world peace and peace within yourself. Be cool, calm, collected, and get some good rest tonight. I will see you back here again on Thursday. Blessings to you all. We'll see you soon.